that's a little bigger. You can reach me at my Cedar Ridge, my Orange County Schools email. I will mostly be working from my classroom because I focus better there. So you should be also able to reach me by phone. My extension is 21300. I have a Google Voice number that you can also use to text or call. So tried to make sure I had lots of ways for people to reach out to me. I use Remind with my classes as well to send them, reminders about upcoming assessments and other information. And there we go. So I will go back to that before we close out our session. So just a little background about me. I grew up in Niagara Falls, New York. My degrees are from SUNY Buffalo and the Universidad de Granada in southern Spain. I've lived in Mexico and taught English. I did not enjoy teaching English as a second language as much as I enjoyed teaching Spanish. I've spent 3 summers over the years studying in Spain. I have visited Paraguay, Argentina, and Guatemala. You can see my hobbies, my pup, and me, out hiking with my dog when I was up home visiting family. So get straight to some of our class expectations. So yes, even though we're remote, we are attending class. So my expectation will be that you are just making sure there's not anybody on time for class, that you're prepared for class. So try to have your materials ready ahead of time. We want to have a environment to work in that it's as free from distraction as possible. So, have your phone silenced and out of the way. Try to find a quiet place to work. And if you're like me and you have a pup, you can get the dog out of the bedroom if that's or the study where you're working. During our Zoom classes, we want to be as courteous and respectful to everyone as we can. And when we enter, you should be entering under your real name. So I know who you are because who the student is, especially since we're not face-to-face. It's going to take a little longer for me to see and get to know people by sight. So no pseudonyms. Have all your materials ready before class starts. And if you're not comfortable on camera, try to set your Google image with a picture of you, preferably, so I can start to put names and faces together, or if you prefer not to, a class-appropriate image that represents you. So, wow, I feel like I'm several slides back. No, I guess I'm good. So Spanish 2 will continue what we were studying in Spanish 1, and I'm aware that I'm going to have a mixture of students that had a full semester last fall, and then had the abbreviated semester in the spring. And we'll work with Avancemos, and we'll use Edmentum to supplement that to try and catch everybody up with the content that they missed. Grading, our grades are based on various categories. The first category is formative work and engagement. And we do not, that is really 0% of your grade, because we try to make sure your grade is mostly about your proficiency level. So assessments that demonstrate what you can and cannot do. And we do allow to retakes and redoing assessments if you do poorly, because the goal is to move you from where you are to where we need you to be. So if you're not there the first time we assess, then we can work together on it to improve your grade. So I've just listed a few things that homework might look like that's a little different in remote learning, like watching instructional videos and completing preliminary practice, so working more on a flipped classroom model so that we can use our class time for interactions, either whole group or in small breakout rooms within our Zoom sessions. It's important then that you've got those tasks completed ahead of time so that you can participate fully in class the next day. So our class focus will often be on clearing up any misconceptions, making sure everybody understood or that my video or notes were clear, and then practicing the skills that we are learning. So what will actually impact your grade more are your assessments, and we divide those into 4 categories: linguistic and cultural competence, presentational communication, interpretive communication, and interpersonal communication. Spanish teachers are talking together a lot about how assessments might look different this year with the fact that we're not face-to-face, so you can't really do pen and paper assessments. So I think that's going to lead to a lot more proficiency-based assessments where you show what you can say, how you can interact in a conversation, what you're able to understand in listening and reading, or in writing, what you can do in writing. And you can see some examples of tasks that you might be asked to do here. And attendance to class and tutoring. So this is actually probably not what's going to happen, because this is an example of how quickly we're learning new things. Learned today that I can make a permanent Zoom room for each group that's sort of like a virtual classroom, and you will always go to the same Zoom room every day for class. So that will be what we'll do, and we'll use that same Zoom room for tutoring, and we'll do a combination of drop-in tutoring during like an office hour, and tutoring appointments, or class-specific tutoring. So maybe, you know, Spanish 2 students in 1st and 4th block need to come in for extra help on one concept. They could come together, or we're just going to work a little bit one day with Spanish 1 students or 1st block students that need tutoring, and the next day Spanish 4th block students that need tutoring. I will have a schedule of drop-in hours versus appointment times that I'm kind of working out as soon as I have an idea of what other responsibilities you'll have during the community time and some of the other open blocks during the day. And then, of course, there'll be Friday morning opportunities for additional support if it is needed. I see a couple questions in the chat. I can't seem to get the chat to pop up, so let me just hold on. Let me stop sharing for a second and see. Yep. All right. So if you have a link in the chat to the presentation, if you want to stay in here a little more, I will be here for a couple more minutes. But basically the key is going to be, what I would leave everybody with is communicate. If you're struggling, reach out to me. Let me know what's going on. If something's going on that's interfering with you being in class on a day, you know, email me what's going on, okay? If you have questions, you can email or give me a call. I'll be in the building tomorrow in my room. And I know y'all have to head off. So if there are any questions, I'll hang around for a few minutes. If you need to, okay. The link should be there for everybody, but here, let me do that one more time for you. Well, here, it'd be easier to do it this way because it's just not cooperating. It's cumbersome. Copy link. And this recording will be posted wherever probably on the Cedar Ridge website where they have decided to, wherever they decide to post the videos. And there's the link to the slide presentation if anyone else needs it. Can I answer any other questions? Oh, okay, that's interesting. Allison, thank you. I'll check the email. And make sure. And if you had a question, you can unmute, you can type in the box, the chat box. Thank you for coming. That was, Cooper, was there anything I could do for you? I see you're still in the room. Nope, okay. Alrighty. And